Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we are the scouting staff for the Hula Bowl. Today I have with me Khalan Laborn. He's a running back out of Marshall. He was a participant in this past season's Hula Bowl. Nice to have you, sir.
Nice to be here. Hey, everybody doing?
So, Khalan, appreciate you coming on here. It was great to be able to meet you and your family while you were down in Orlando for the Hula Bowl. And then, of course, you were able to go out there and showcase your talent, meet with a lot of, scouts and stuff and all that. But do want to allow you to tell your story, man. Tell some people more about you, if you don't mind. Give us the backdrop. Take me back to maybe your high school days and tell me where you're from.
I'm from Virginia. Family's from Shelby, North Carolina, so I'm kind of like bounced between there. And then, I play high school ball at 3 different high schools. Cox High School was the first, Ocean Lakes High School was the second, and then Bishop Sullivan was the third. And then I went to Florida State, played football there, and then after I played football there, took some time off, and then transferred to Marshall and finished there.
So again, Florida State was your first stop, and then eventually you found your way there to Marshall. Coming out of high school, how many offers did you have coming out of high school, man? I mean, obviously you ended up going to FSU, but how did that work out? Like, why did you choose that school over another?
I chose Florida State because I feel like it was a good school to compete at. We had we had an interesting class that we had together. And then, I just wanted to go there, compete, and showcase my talents there.
Well, hey, I mean, you found yourself in Florida once again there for the Hula Bowl. But before that, I mean, you kind of had a bit of an underdog story, if you don't mind me saying. I mean, you were out of football for just a little bit, but then, dude, you came to Marshall and you exploded and had a fantastic season this past year, over 1,500 yards, which I just think is an astounding number. Talk to me about that offense there at Marshall and how they used you this past season.
We just really trusted our run game, and then we trusted our pass game as well a little more at the end of the season. But we just put it all together, worked together as a team, and got it done.
So speaking about maybe your teammates there at Marshall, the Thundering Herd, tell me about some of the guys there. Who there is maybe like one of your more impressive teammates.
One of my impressive teammates I had to say is he was a DN, Kobe Cumberlander, and then Eli Neal, he was a linebacker, and then Andre Sam, he was a DB, number 20. They played pretty hard, and then really the rest of our whole defense, honestly, because they played to a high standard every game, and defense helped win championships for sure.
Yeah, I know another guy there in that secondary actually ended up inviting as well down to the Hula Bowl in Gilmore.
Stephen Gilmore, he's pretty solid. He gets the job done.
Yeah, totally gets the job done. Appreciate having both of you guys and being able to invite you down to our game. Let's talk for a little bit about your experience at the Hula Bowl, if you don't mind. How did that work out for you, man? I don't think I was the one who gave you the call, but did Damon call you? How did that work out for you?
I think I got something in the mail during the season, and then just your guys. It was like 2 people that contacted me. Damon, you said? Yeah, Damon was the one that contacted me. One of the people that contacted me.
So, getting that news, I mean, obviously, you were a guy who, to be honest with you, I didn't know it was, within our wheelhouse because you were having such a fantastic year. I thought that you may have ended up going to one of these other all-star events, but, hey, the Hula Bowl is pretty good too. I mean, we're making a run for it, putting together a solid ass roster. So we were very happy with our roster this year and all of our running back core. Can you talk about maybe some of the guys that you were coming in with, and perhaps like just kind of your overall relationship that you were able to build with that core group, and even maybe the coach that you were under at the Hula Bowl?
Yeah, we had a pretty solid running back coach and a pretty solid group. All of them were pretty good guys. They all were unique in their own ways, and we just stayed together as a group and and try to have fun.
Yeah, I mean, we had guys of all shapes and sizes, the small, quick guys, the big bruiser guys, and then of course guys like yourself who can do a little bit of everything. What do you feel separates you as a prospect? I mean, can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
I'm just a really hard worker, and I know what I want, and I put my all into achieving what I want.
Gotcha. And then of course, during your time at the Hula Bowl, I mean, I know that you sat down, had interviews with a lot of different teams, man. I mean, what was the count? I mean, were you counting how many teams that you were talking to, or what?
Honestly, I didn't really keep count. I just knew like it was more than I expected, and I'm very grateful for that for sure.
So what was like the weirdest question that somebody gave you? I mean, I heard a couple of them from some people, but kind of want to get your answer, uh, from that. So
They asked when I told them I lived in Japan before. They was pretty shocked and wanted to know my experience about that. So
interesting. So, so you lived in Japan? Talk about that for just a second.
yeah, my dad he was stationed in Misawa, Japan for two to 3 years, and I was there while I want to say like from the ages of like maybe 4, maybe to 6, maybe around there, 4 or 5. About a year, yeah, year and a half, somewhere around there.
Cool. So, I mean, you were there for a little bit. Did you take well to the cuisine there in Japan? I mean, is that something that you like or what?
I mean, I liked it. I for sure liked it. It was definitely different from where I grew up. Man, it was just a great experience for sure.
Well, hey, I mean, to say that you spent some time there, I think it's pretty cool. Um, Gonna be spending some time, obviously somewhere in the pros. I mean, we do feel like you're gonna have a legitimate opportunity at the professional level in the NFL. May end up being one of these guys that gets drafted. We'll see. We'll see how that all pans out. But let's just kind of reflect a little bit on everything up until this point. When you look back at your experience in college, what are you going to remember the most? Is there maybe a game or a moment that sticks out for you?
I mean, the biggest moment I definitely would have to say when we beat Notre Dame the second game of the season. It was a ranked game on the road, and it was kind of one of those games where it was like we just threw it all in the bucket. Like let's all just what I'm saying, give it our all, and we what I'm saying, we finished that game with a dub. So that was definitely one of the games I definitely remember for sure.
So,
If not number one, actually it is number one. Actually,
yeah. So do you remember a particular play from that game that you'll always remember? Like I don't know, maybe some long run or something that you can talk me through?
yeah, there was a long run that I had, but really the way we finished the drive, um, was how like we finished it with a touchdown. But there was this one play that our quarterback at the time, Henry Colombi, threw to Devin Miller, our tight end, and I guess their mascot was doing their little fighting Irish like chant dance or whatever when he throws a fist or whatever, and he did it after his touchdown. It was pretty cool. I didn't even really get to see it like on the sideline, but like or wherever I was, I honestly don't remember. When I saw it on TV, I didn't even notice that he did it. It was one of the coolest things ever.
So speaking of which, I mean, obviously you made it in the end zone several times this past season. Um, were there any time like when you got to the end zone where you kind of had something like I don't know, maybe prepared, like you prepare like some sort of end zone celebration, or does that just happen like a spur of the moment?
It happens
Like,
in the spirit. It honestly happens in the spur of the moment. Like when I had got my when we had scored the first touchdown against Notre Dame, all I could do is hit the call God because you've been there the whole way for sure.
Cool, man. Well, I mean, obviously, great moment there against Notre Dame. I want to say you were named like running back of the week from Doak Walker at the time. So just a fantastic week there for sure. I mean, obviously a huge upset. No one expected Marshall to beat Notre Dame. But hey, just a fantastic game there for sure. When you maybe even look at some of the guys that are playing the game at the next level, are there some guys that you try your best to emulate, or maybe some guys that you grew up being a fan of?
Definitely all of them because all running backs have like their own different, unique style of running. So I like to watch all of them, but you gotta create your own at some point. But definitely critique my game from watching the past running backs that played before me for sure.
So give me a couple of examples, man. Just throw them out there.
I want to say someone like one definitely I like watching is Adrian Peterson for sure. Like how hard he runs, and you know what I'm saying. He just you could tell he wants to get the first down. And then another running back that I watch a lot is Chris Johnson. I'm not as fast as him, but it's just the way how he hits the holes. You know what I'm saying. He sees the daylight. And he just never stops his feet from moving. Never stop his feet moving.
Well, hey, I mean, obviously you said that you may not be as fast as CJ2K. I mean, not a lot of people are. Obviously, he did a fantastic job, at the combine, at least at the time, setting a record. I know you yourself, you're preparing for your pro day, trying to get yourself ready for that. Where are you training at right now?
In Tampa, Florida, Athlete Innovations. Getting work done in there.
Gotcha. And so, any coaches that you're with right now that you want to give a shout out to, or what?
Any of my coaches right now?
Yeah, the guys at the facility.
Oh yeah, Coach Cliff for sure. That's my guy.
Awesome. Well, hey man, I mean, obviously you're training. What are you aspiring to do there at your pro day? What are you shooting for? You mind me
Shooting
kind of
for the
ask?
stars. I'm shooting to do everything they ask me to do, and do it to the max.
So like I'm just saying, I'm fishing a little bit for some numbers. I mean, what are you shooting for numbers wise? Either that
The
being
my
like
my best of the best. I have no specific number. Just shoot for the best.
well, hey, that's fair. Hey, I'm trying to fish out a couple of numbers, but I mean, as the professional that you are, obviously you're going to hold off and make people wait, which is cool. I get it. Don't worry about it. I don't take offense. We're good. So,
Oh no, like I feel like like I got pretty good numbers right now. It's just manifesting, just doing what I'm doing better than what I already have. That's just my thing. I never try to put like for this past season, I never really had the only goals I really had was to do my best and then reach 1,000 yards was one of them, and just try to finish the season as a champion. That's what I was able to do by winning our bowl while us winning our bowl game.
dude, yeah, I mean, you had a fantastic year. 1,000 yards. What wasn't even like it was really 15, man. 1,500 yards is like, fantastic, for any running back in any season. So hitting that mark, I think, was really awesome for you. So
Yeah,
obviously,
it
and
was
obviously
definitely a great feeling.
finishing strong, man. I think everybody wants to do that. You finish strong. Ended up getting an invite, having a very solid outing at the Hula Bowl, and now you're in this process where you're kind of training yourself up, and the draft is going to be in a couple of months. So where are you going to be then? You got something in mind? You're going to be with your family, or how's that going to work out?
I'm definitely gonna be with my family. I just haven't really got into planning. I'm just still focused on working right now for my pro day.
Dude, that's fine. Obviously,
Yeah,
we got a couple months, so it's not that urgent, but certainly at the time, I know you're going to be sitting with your family, just kind of waiting and seeing what's going to happen. Who's going to give you that call? So somebody's going to give you that call, man. I know that's going to happen. So do want to take a moment to meet this Khalan guy a little bit outside of football, if you don't mind. Tell me something about you that maybe not everybody knows. Anything that you feel is maybe unique, special, or whatever. Give me a little something, like a little nugget about you as a guy out, off the field.
Um, I like soccer. I say like soccer is one of my like favorite sports that I kind of like more than basketball a little bit, but like because I play the game FIFA a lot, and I don't know. I feel like something different.
So did you play soccer growing up, or is it just kind of something you you know liked a little bit, or how did that work out?
Yeah, I don't know. I just like played the FIFA game, and like my first time actually playing FIFA was probably like I don't know, like 2012. And then as you know, I find myself really liking soccer now. I mean, I always found it interesting growing up, but I always played football, so or basketball. So I don't know. Soccer is just something I ended up starting to like.
Okay. So a couple other non-football related questions just for fun. Uh, if you had a cheat meal and you could cheat on one like meal, whether it be snack, dinner, lunch, or whatever, what's that one thing that you would love to have, whether it be from a restaurant or from a family member? What comes to mind for you?
I don't know. Like a nice good burger and fries is pretty good.
So you probably haven't had a burger and fries in a while. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, I haven't had it like I don't know. Like I don't really eat them as much. Like I haven't had one in a while, but it's pretty. That's something I like to eat. Heavy.
Well, hey, that's all right. Trying to think of a couple more just for fun. Uh, it's karaoke night, and Khalan Laborn has to sing one song. Um, what is he going to get up there and absolutely hit out of the park, man? What are you singing?
Probably a Juice WRLD song, honestly, or a Lil Uzi Vert song, probably.
All right, that's fun. If you let's see, you have a favorite car, like maybe something that obviously when you get the money, if money's not the object, I mean, have you thought about like that favorite vehicle that you'd love to be driving down the street?
Hmm, a Nissan GTR or like a Mercedes truck, something like that.
Awesome. And have you ever thought about like, obviously what you might be able to do with the platform of being a professional athlete? Like, have you thought about maybe a like a charity or a cause that you might be able to help, help, help build or what have you? Have you put in much thought into that or what?
Definitely have. I just know I would love to help out in everything, but it's just like you can only do so much. You got to take it a time, step at a time, with things of that nature. But I definitely have for sure.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, you're going to get a lot of time to figure that all out for sure. You got a few months before all this madness comes to a head, and then you're just going to have to roll with whatever team has fallen in love with you and is going to give you that opportunity. Um, to close this out, man, if you don't mind, I want you to talk directly to every single one of those scouts, man. I know you sat down with uh, probably a couple dozen in Orlando at the Hula Bowl, and more to come, really. So close this out with your pitch and tell everybody why you need to draft Khalan Laborn.
Well, the reason I feel like they should draft Kalen Laborn is one, he's a hard worker. Two, um, he's always willing to learn, willing to find the right way to do things, find the way to get the job done, and just genuine person over here, genuine love, straight love and peace over here. But definitely a hard worker for sure.
Well, definitely a guy that I feel like a team can count on, that can go out there and do whatever it is that you're asked to do. So, I mean, you were a guy who quite literally was a workhorse for Marshall, and I know that you can continue to do the same or whatever else a team is going to ask you to do at the next level. So, Khalan, wish you best of luck in this process. All right, man.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Sure. Once again, I got with me Khalan Laborn. He's a running back out of Marshall. Definitely check him out.